If you've ever experienced severe decision-making fatigue while trying to select the perfect go-to-war rifle build, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. Today we're going to be discussing what my choice is for a perfect, without rule of law, SHTF, doomsday, go-to-war rifle. Now, many of you will remember that roughly 8 to 10 months ago, I had a completely different rifle build selected at the time of filming that video, and this video will serve to give you my updated thoughts and opinions. These opinions and thoughts have changed as I have undergone an extensive amount of training and competitive shooting from the time of filming the previous video until now, and now I am a Marksmanship Master Trainer and graduate of the Marksmanship Master Trainer course. And throughout that course and a bunch of competitions that I also shot throughout the past roughly 1 year timeline, my thoughts and opinions have changed drastically. So we're going to get into that today. Your responsibilities throughout this video are to, 1, hit the like button, as that is a free concept, helps me out a ton. Thank you for doing that. 2, leave your combat llama emojis down below. And 3, let me know if you agree or disagree on what my choice is for a go-to-war rifle. And I will lay out why I selected everything and the manner in which I selected it and what actual application it will have when round impacts steel on target. Additionally, I do not represent the War Department or the United States Army in any way. I will be discussing a little bit of my pedigree, but just understand that just because I'm discussing my training, these are my thoughts and my opinions. So I will give the newer viewers a very brief synopsis and I guess pedigree rundown, speed run of who I am. I'm a drill sergeant, I'm an instructor, I'm a senior non-commissioned officer, I'm an infantryman, I'm a Marksmanship Master Trainer, I'm an Excellence in Competition badge holder in both pistol and in rifle, expert infantryman, parachutist. You're kind of getting the overall picture of who I am professionally and personally, right? I like to shoot. I'm also a B class, I believe, USPSA pistol shooter in production division. I'm sure you guys will look up my practice score, the guys that are more versed in all that. I shot B class in the recent classifier. The point is, I shoot a lot of bullets, and throughout shooting the past 8 to 10 months, my thoughts and experiences have changed personally on what I believe to be a perfect go-to-war rifle and home defense rifle, and that will be the discussion of today's video. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. A go-to-war rifle should be lightweight, semi-automatic, shoot a caliber that will actually have good terminal effects and not be affected too much by wind or gravity throughout its path to the target. Additionally, it should have long enough of a barrel to actually be able to stabilize and give that projectile enough velocity to do terminally what you want it to do to the target that you're shooting at in your Minecraft server. So it should be lightweight, handy, short, maneuverable, but also long enough to give velocity, and you should have a minimum of 2 to 4 MOA capability with the perfect round that you're using and with the projectile that you select in said rifle and with the actual rifling and barrel twist in that gun. So with all those things out of the way, this M1 Garand is not my go-to-war rifle, but it is one of my favorite rifles. But I think you guys enjoyed the meme there. No, I do not think a M1 Garand is a good choice for a go-to-war rifle for obvious reasons. It's too long. And this is going to bring up the point before I show you my actual build here. This is going to bring up the point right away. 20-inch guns are too long. They're too long. It is not 2004 anymore. We're not going into Fallujah with the Army or the Marines kicking down doors with what we like to call in the Army as muskets, okay? It's not required anymore. We can grow up, we can move on, we can use a gun that can utilize better technology and utilize better bullet technology rather than M855 and actually get the most out of the guns, because what guys don't understand, excuse me, is you will not only be required to fight at rifle distances, you will also be required to fight at pistol distances. And I do have my entire kit set up and I will be showing you everything, not just the rifle. I know most typical YouTubers would go, here's my pistol video, here's my rifle video, here's my kit video. You guys are gonna get it all today in a one-stop shop. So hopefully it's entertaining. Anyway, back to the gun. Your gun, your rifle, okay, needs to be capable to fight very quickly up close, and also it needs to be able to fight at out to 700 meters with second round impact at 700 and 600 and first round impact at 500 meters and in, okay? So from 0 meters to 500 meters, whatever rifle you choose, okay? Because there's going to be a bunch of keyboard commandos that have never done anything other than go on Reddit and the YouTube comment section. Thanks for engaging with the video, even though many of you will be wrong. There are going to be a bunch of guys saying, well, they could get it done with a 20-inch musket back in the day, so why can't we do it now? Well, they could get it done with a flintlock back when we earned our freedom, or earned the right to be a free country here. We're not using flintlocks anymore. There you go, okay? So it's time to update to the times. So that is my thoughts and opinions. You need to be able to 0 to 500 meters, first round impact with your optic and your holds with the projectile that you choose and the barrel length that you choose. At 600 meters, that is outside the capability of 2 to 4 MOA with a 20-inch wide target, 40 inches tall. That is the average height and width of a military age male, 40 inches tall, 20 inches wide. So with 2 to 4 MOA capable gun, that is first round impact up to 500 meters, second round impact at 600 meters, knowing where your correction is, and second round impact at 740 meters, which is how far I have shot with this exact setup that you're about to see. Okay, now that we've talked about why, a little bit of the why, let's get into the actual gun. Before we get into the gun, we'll talk about the magazines. There are only two types of magazines that I recommend and that I will use. The Generation 3 or the Enhanced Performance magazine, okay? That is going to be a blue follower US GI magazine, okay? Blue follower only, tan magazines, or a PMAG, Magpul PMAG Generation 3 with the good anti-tilt follower. These are the best magazines on the market. You cannot argue with me on it. It is just a fact. These, they don't have any labeling, so you will have to discuss down below with a timestamp of 6 minutes and 50 seconds exactly what type of magazine these are. The projectile that I am using 77 OTM. That is 77 grain open tip match. That is going to be a heavy per caliber loading. Now, why am I using a 77 grain instead of a 62 grain M855 Alpha 1 or a 62 grain M855 or a 55 grain M193? Why would I use something such as this open tip match? Well, it's simple. It'll make sense in a second. The barrel length that I am selecting to utilize for this pistol range engagement all the way out to rifle range is that this will actually stabilize for further distances and will be more effective at close ranges and farther ranges with the barrel length that I've selected. So if you are watching this and you have a really poor choice in ammunition, i.e. you're shooting M193 or 55 grain full metal jacket because you have a 20-inch gun and it turns practice ammo into duty ammo, but you don't actually train with it, you don't understand that if you were to walk through the woods out here for literally 10 minutes, you're going to hate your life because that thing's going to be hitting into everything. And if your BMI can't actually support you actually carrying such a gun into the woods, you'll understand it once you start maneuvering out in an austere environment. So that'll make sense for what I'm selecting. It's just tongue-in-cheek, guys. Whatever barrel length you decide to run, train, okay? But I cannot stress this enough. 16-inch is the longest I would go, but if I didn't have the gun I'm about to show you, it would be a 14.5. Let's get into it. All right, so now that we've talked about magazines, let's talk about the actual gun itself. Now, this is technically a pistol, okay? And it has a pistol lower. That is all you need to know about that. Boom, there you go. Okay, so pistol, for legality purposes, this is a SBA4. Now, what I will tell you about the SBA4 is that it is much better than the SBA3. That's about all I can say on that. You guys can figure out what I'm talking about there. But the SBA4 is a much improved brace option for your go-to-war, in this case, pistol. Good to go on that. All right, it is adjustable, okay, for all the way full length of brace or all the way closed. You guys do whatever you're gonna do with that information. Additionally, I have my sling attached with a QD point out here. That way it will perfectly bring the gun into my body if I'm trying to maneuver with the gun, and that way it's not flopping around all crazy. And the sling, additionally, I have it attached up here up front to one of these Magpul kind of like Picatinny Magpul M1913 Picatinny mounts, and this is going to keep it from I guess the weapon system, as I try to knock you guys out, it's going to keep the weapon system from flying out as I'm running around, even though you should always have a firm high and tight grip on the pistol grip on the fire control unit. Sometimes you will not be able to with your non-firing hand because you're correcting a malfunction, you're reloading, you're trying to get somebody out of the way. So that is why I select the sling setup that I have on this pistol. Good. Moving forward from there, I have the CMMG. I'll show you right now. Boom. CMMG charging handle. Why? Well, the Daniel Defense ones are a little bit too wide, I guess. The Daniel Defense ones like to clip on everything, okay? So I'm not a big fan of the Daniel Defense charging handle because it will get the gun out of battery too often. And if you've experienced that, comment down below if you've ever been out of battery because of your charging handle, but it does happen, okay? So this is what happens with your Daniel Defense. So no shade on them. I just prefer, I like the CMMG. There it is again, okay? Boom, CMMG charging handle. There we go. Moving forward from there. A lot of my viewers are going to see, oh yeah, Magpul pistol grip, okay, with an enhanced Geisley, I believe. I'm not sure what's in this one, but yeah, with a upgraded trigger, okay, no big deal. I have a Geisley SSA in a lot of my guns. Not sure which one this is right here, but there is that. All right. This is the Magpul, just the regular Magpul with no finger grooves. I do not like the A2 grip when I don't have to use it because that prevents your hand from being as high up on that pistol grip as possible. So I do not like, if you can get away from not having an A2 government style pistol grip, then don't do it, okay? So this one's just a Magpul standard with some texture on there. All right, moving forward. Boom, another Magpul product, the M-Bus 3s, okay? These things are sweet. They are zeroed at 1.5 MOA low at 25 meters, thus giving me a 36 meter zero, which is with 300 meters zero. So this gun is zeroed for 1.5 MOA low at 25 meters, giving me a 36 meter and a first round, a perfect zero at 300, okay? So this is a 25 or 36 300 meter gun is what the Battle Sight Zero is for this gun. Now, that is what these M-Bus A3s are zeroed to. If I can get it to focus here for you guys. There we go. That is what every optic on this gun is zeroed for, okay? The sighting system. This sighting system is the EOTech EXPS 3-1. All that means is that this gun is clear and safe, that this is there you go. Okay, you can see that it's all co-witnessed even through the front sight there and through the rear side aperture, but we'll get that thing out of the way for you guys. This thing is a single dot only, not a circle and a dot. I do not like the circle and a dot. I want that thing, every time I present this gun, there only to be one thing that my eyes see on target as I draw the gun up, okay? So that is there you go. The EOTech, if I can speak, the EOTech EXPS 3-1, okay? With a quick detach mount on the side. That way, if it gets damaged or something like that, then I can get this thing out of the way. Everybody good on that? Okay, moving forward. Optic, sling, Mark II, BCM. All right, the upper is a BCM, the lower is a cheapo PSA with a better trigger dropped into it. There we go. Where's that disgusting roll mark? Give it to me. Boom. Okay, there it is. A lower is a lower, right? There's only a couple companies that I know of making a designated pistol lower. PSA is one of them. So you guys use that information what you will. There's a few out there, but PSA, a lower is a lower is lower as long as it is in spec. Now, I do recommend that you upgrade the trigger from a basic mil spec to something better, but you don't need to, right? You can get it done, but as long as your lower is in spec and everything is working good for you, do whatever you want, okay? The upper is a BCM Mark II, okay? I'll try to get out of here so you guys can see. The upper is a BCM Mark II with a BCM bolt carrier group as well, through and through on the upper. Why Mark II? Well, it has a 10-inch rail here, and it is the lightweight rail, which is awesome. It keeps this gun super lightweight, as the name implies up front, and with an 11.5-inch barrel. This is the perfect gun for lack of a better term, it's a fighting gun, right? For Minecraft. It's a 0 meter to 300 meter or 500 meter gun all day long with this 11.5, and it is a excellent suppressor host, okay? For the suppressor, this barrel, I believe, is Cold Hammer Forge. It's whatever the Mark II, right? Right hand, 1 in 7. You guys let me know down below if I'm wrong about that for some reason. I'm getting eaten alive, so yeah. But it should be right hand, 1 in 7 twist, Mark II barrel, if I can get it to focus. There we go. Okay, so there is the barrel. Moving on to the suppressor, Huxworks 556K. All right, I like the K-can to keep the overall length of the gun light. I wonder if this thing, we are clear and safe. Okay, I wonder if this thing is carbon locked on here. Oh, God. Okay, it lives on here forever now. But yeah, you can get it off if you want. We won't discuss that here right now. However, yep, that is what we got going on there. Standard Huxworks 556K for the overall length, giving some of that flash suppression, signature reduction, and all the stuff. The white light on here is a Surefire. There we go. Surefire Scout Light, okay, with a vampire head, okay? So I can use this, so I can use this aiming device with this IR light at night with PVS 14 white phos perfectly, okay, if I choose to do so. This does have a night vision setting. There we go. On this, there you go, that NV right here, you can see it in the center. That is a night vision setting only. So if you need to switch this thing over to, you can see this thing has been burned to death. You can do it, baby. There we go. For some reason, the head wants to come all the way off. Anyway, you can switch this thing over to the vampire head, and now you're shooting under IR light, and then you can switch it back to Viz only. Okay, we'll see what we're on now. Okay, we're back to Viz. All right, so there you go. There's your nighttime aiming solution. But overall, I like it, okay? This is my choice, again, for a go-to-war rifle. You guys may have, you know, difference of opinions, but this is what I choose to run. You guys let me know what your choice is down below. Now, I'm gonna show you the kit setup as well. Get this thing out of the way. Okay, I'll give you guys a once-over. Things I do. I'm getting eaten alive for you guys. All right, there it is. Moving on. Let's talk about kit. Body armor. If you got this far, and you're already squared away on kit, well, feel free to bounce out. Hit the like button on your way out. Okay, the kit setup is super simple. Running an AC1 with 77 grain OTM magazines. Okay, I do have a dangler up front, as you guys can see. Okay, so dangler up front, kangaroo pouch. There you go. 3 mag placard up front with 1 in the cummerbund with a total of 4 magazines on my person. All right, 2 magazines in the assault pack for a rifle with IR flag for positive identification of friendly forces. There we go. Moving on to the belt. All right, many of you guys have already seen this, but we'll go through it briefly for the new guys. All right, starting at the front, this is a Ronin belt. Oh my goodness, dude. I may just, here we go. All right, so Ronin belt, nothing too crazy there. STAC 2 double pistol magazines with 1 round magazines in there, okay? We have mechanics gloves, D-ringed off to, or in this case, S-ringed off to the belt right behind the magazines. Dump pouch, boom. That way you can actually keep things. So I have a total of 2 dump pouches on my kit. Blowout kit, okay? With an external tourniquet. And last but not least, and I'll get back in frame here. These gnats are horrible. All right, there we go. Glock 17 with a Safariland holster. If you guys need one as well, a duty-rated holster, get down below. There should be a link down below where you guys, if you guys need one. And of course, boom. Glock 17, Gen 5, Talon grip tape, Surefire X300, and Trijicon HD night sights with a 1-round magazine in the gun. Total of 5 pistol mags and a total of 7 rifle mags, okay? Why so many pistol? Well, you're gonna need your pistol is your lifeline, and your rifle, or in this case, my pistol and my pistol, are the life taker, right? So you need to be able to fight, transition and fight in a number of different environments, okay? So I prefer to have plenty of pistol ammunition on my belt. That way, if things get really bad, then I always have that firing solution with me, and that is my lifeline. Make sense? So if you guys I'm untangling my sling here. If you guys got this far, comment down below. What distance are you zeroing at and why? And if it's 100, I'd be really curious, but most of you guys should be zeroing at either 36 meters or 50 meters, 36 for more long range engagements, and 50 meters for an urban engagement, okay? But comment down below what distance you're zeroing at. Let me know where you agree or disagree with this overall build and setup for a go-to-war rifle. I always look forward to reading your guys' comments and engaging with you in the comment section down below. Additionally, if you haven't left your combat llama emoji down below, then do so, as that helps out a ton. And yeah, this was a fun video to make, so let me know what you guys think down below, and it'll be a good time. Have a good weekend, guys, and until next time, this is gonna be Trench Grenade, your average updated go-to-war rifle video enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Cheers.